Welcome to Stretch and Relax. This is a yin yoga style of workshop and it's designed to help you slip into a deep, intentional state of relaxation while enjoying some beautiful, deep stretches that you'll hold for about 2 to 5 minutes in order to help your body come back to total balance, feeling centered and very rested. This practice is best done at night time when your body is winding down from a busy day. So be sure to take some time now to set up your space so that you can be as comfortable as possible. You might like to use some essential oils diffused. I love to use lavender peace, frankincense, or peace blend by doTERRA. And I've also got a few towels here as well. I've got 2 beach towels rolled up into a really tight ball. That's going to be for when we're reclining and it'll be placed under our spine. And then I've got 2 towels that are the same size, and they're rolled up as well. And this is going to be for extra propping up. When you're in a restorative or a yin posture and you're staying there for a while, it's important that your entire body can start to relax into it. So that's why I've got a few extra props. Now you might have the traditional blocks or bolsters, and if you do, that's fine. But the towels work really well if you don't have any of those things. So let's begin by coming into a reclining position with feet flat on the floor, knees up, and hands onto the belly. So make sure that your head is straight up with your nose pointing towards the ceiling, and take your knees to touch and heel-toe your feet out to the sides of your mat. Wriggle your shoulders a couple times to bring them down and away from the ears, and hands resting just gently onto the lower belly, and you can feel the hip bones here as well. And let the elbows sit out widely to the side. And from here, start to find your breath by breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Just starting to notice the breath as it goes through the nostrils. Bring awareness into the back of the head that's pressed onto the mat. Bring awareness into the shoulders, into the chest. Bring awareness down deep into the belly. And on your next in-breath, push your belly up towards the ceiling. So belly button will rise up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, belly button will fall back. This is known as belly breathing, so you want to make sure that belly rises and falls, nice and gently and softly. If you want to make sure you're doing it right, place one hand onto the belly and one hand onto the chest, and the hand on the chest doesn't move. Breathing in, belly rise. Breathing out, belly fall. Do that another few times just to find that rhythm of breathing in, rising, breathing out, belly falling. Good. Now bring your hands back down by your sides, palms facing up, and heel-toe your feet together. Knees touching, and just start to gently rock your knees from side to side, getting some movement into the legs. Good. Take feet back to hip distance, knees hip distance as well. Hands behind your head, interlace the fingers, allowing the chest to expand and open. Breathing in, belly rise. Breathing out, belly fall. And again, breathing in, belly rise. And breathing out, belly fall, all the way out. Breathe out as much as you can. Let the breath completely leave the body. Squeeze the belly. Good, and relaxing down. I want you to take your knees over to the left side, just wherever they fall, let them fall. And you can take your right arm out to the side, look towards your right shoulder. Again, bring awareness back into the belly, let it rise and fall. You might even like to squeeze the belly muscles on the out breath. So breathing in, pushing out the belly. Breathing out, squeeze the belly muscles in a little bit. If that feels okay, you can take your left ankle on top of the knee and let yourself go a little deeper into the stretch. If at any time you feel sore or serious pain come out, if you're just feeling a challenge, then stay in it and breathe just a little bit longer and enjoy the stretch. The more you practice this style of yoga, the easier it will become. At first, it will be difficult because you're so used to moving so quickly. Intentional rest is a practice. Undo that top leg and gently come back to center and then swap to the other side. Don't cross those legs yet. Take a few breaths here. Breathing in, belly rise. Breathing out, belly fall. And if it's okay for your neck, look over towards your left shoulder. And now you can cross those ankles and knees, taking the stretch a little deeper if you like. Just check in with your body now. Just notice if your shoulders are relaxed, if your neck is relaxed, and just see what your body is feeling. We're going for a nice deep stretch down the side of the body, but you might be feeling it in your knees, in your hips, or maybe even in your shoulders and neck with your neck turned towards the left. Undo those legs, hands back to center, bring knees into chest. Coming for a nice tight squeeze here. Good. Take your legs all the way up into the air. We're aiming to get the legs straight here and we're flexing the feet nice and strongly. And you want to send the heels towards the ceiling. So if your legs are bent like this, you want to see where you can straighten the legs, even one at a time, and then send that leg up. See how I'm lifting through the heel. And that might be enough for you, one leg at a time. And then you can simply switch, straighten the other leg and send the heel towards the ceiling. Eventually, you'll start to roll through the belly and allow the legs to stay nice and straight. Just enjoy this legs hanging in the air. It's known as waterfall pose. Good. Cross the legs right over left. Reach in, grab the ankles, and then pull the legs towards your chest. Deep breath in here. As you breathe in, the belly will push out onto the knees. Your knees will rise up. As you breathe out, you'll squeeze the belly and gently allow the air to leave the lungs and bring knees a little closer to the chest. And again, breathing in, push the knees out with the belly. And as you breathe out, squeeze the belly, allowing the lower back to round down, pulling the legs towards you. Good. I'm going to switch to the other side. So breathe in. Knees will move away from the chest. Breathing out, squeezing, pulling the knees in nice and close. And again, breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Good, good. This time, cross the legs like you would if you were seated in a chair. Reach through, hold onto the front shin, and then pull the legs slowly towards the chest. Breathe in. Knees will move slightly away. Breathing out. You're going to be feeling this all through the right outside of the leg and hip and the buttocks. This stretch is very, very good for running, jumping, squatting movements. It helps to allow the whole leg to stretch out nice and slowly. Stay with that breath though. Breathing in, belly rise. Breathing out, belly fall. This practice is all about rhythm and gentleness. Good. Uncross those legs, knees into chest. Holding onto the outside of the foot, and extend the left foot onto the floor, or you can have it the whole way out. This is a little bit more advanced, so you feel free to keep that left leg bent if you like. You're going to take that knee out to the side, just allow the hip to open. If you can extend the leg out, go for it, but if that's too much for you, just keep the knee bent to wherever's comfortable. And then take that leg all the way up. Keep that leg as straight as you can and just move slightly over the midline. You get a very, very deep stretch up the right side of the leg. You want to keep locking that hip down onto the floor. So we don't want to see this, but it stays onto the floor, just the leg moving over. Keep that foot as flexed as possible, and that will help increase the stretch all the way down the IT band. If you're a runner, a stretch like this is beautiful for the outside of the leg. Good, curl that leg in, knees into chest. And now moving on to the left side, so crossing the left leg over the right, reaching in, holding onto the right shin, breathing in, push the knees away, and as you breathe out, suck the belly and bring those knees into chest. Keep allowing the movement of breath to bring your body back into relaxation. Feeling the pull on the muscles slowly ease with each out breath. You might like to close your eyes and just notice the breath moving in and out through the nose. Good, just 2 more breaths here. And doing those legs, knees into chest. A little squeeze. Rock gently from side to side, massaging the lower spine. And then holding onto the outside of the left foot, placing the right foot onto the ground and taking the hip out to the side. And again, if you want to extend the leg out, you can. Just go to whatever feels comfortable for you. You're going to curl that leg back in, take the leg up towards the center of the body, and then gently take it over the midline ever so slightly, keeping that foot nice and flexed. All the pressure is going to be on the outside of the left leg and into the buttock. This is a movement that can take some practice, so keep sending the heel towards the ceiling and pulling that leg over the midline. Every time you feel yourself breathing up into the chest, send your awareness down into the belly again, breathing in, push the belly out. Breathing out, suck the belly back to center and try and relax the shoulders and chest muscles. Good. Come back to center. Knees into chest. Little rock again from side to side. So we're going to go into a beautiful reclining stretch. This is where you're going to need your towels. So grab your thick double wrapped beach towel, and you want to make sure you can lay down so that your head is resting nice and gently. I've got my legs crossed here. You might prefer to have your feet, soles of feet touching, and allowing your shoulders to externally rotate by having the palms facing up. If that's too much for your legs, you can take your towels and place them just under the upper legs. And this will actually stop any pressure from forming into the front of the hips, and is a much more preferred option than having your legs stuck up high in the air. You want to have the towel supporting those legs and letting them come down onto the floor. So let's just find a nice gentle rhythm of breath here. And you want to allow the shoulders to relax, the chest to relax, the buttocks to relax, the entire length of the spine from the back of the neck all the way down to the tailbone. Allowing the leg muscles to soften. And after a while, you might find that you can remove both the towels. So see how that feels to do that. And if you feel like you've gone too far, you can always put the towels back. Go very gently and expect nothing but rest. Through the front of the hips, you may feel a deep, deep pulling sensation. So you can hold underneath the legs if that feels a little bit more comfortable. Sometimes a stretch all the way up through the chest feels beautiful. So you can tuck your hands under the towel, interlace the fingers, allowing the elbows to come out to the side, stretching through the front of the chest, the arms, whole body opening. Undoing the arms if they're interlaced. Bring knees back to center. Heel toe the feet out a little bit. Just gently rock knees from side to side. We call this windscreen wipers. And then rolling onto one side and helping yourself to come up to an upright seated position. Cross your left leg and have the knee pointing directly forward. So it's in line with the hip, it's not out to the side, in line with the hip. Take your right leg over the top. To get the foot onto the floor, you might need to lean up and then keep the foot grounded and bring your buttocks back onto the floor. So we're in a nice cross-legged position, sitting up as tall as you can. We're going to start to twist around towards the right. So you want to get the belly out of the way here. So push into the leg with your belly. As you breathe out, suck the belly and then start to find your twist over to the right, and you can hug that left knee. This will give you a very, very deep stretch through the outside of the top leg. Look out over the right shoulder and push the belly out with each in-breath, and with each out-breath, squeeze the belly a little bit more so you can find your twist. The twist happens on the in and the out breath. If you're not breathing into your belly, you won't feel the twist happening. When you get to the point where you can easily take your elbow to the outside of the knee, you can adjust. And then keep looking towards the right shoulder. Good, unraveling. Coming back to center, switching legs. This time the right leg is pointing directly forward with the knee, left leg over the top, sitting up nice and tall. Start to find your twist. Breathing in, pushing out, breathing out, squeezing, hugging the knee, looking out over the left shoulder. Keep the belly breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. And sometimes squeeze the belly a little bit more and you'll be able to find more of that twist around to the left. If you find that your elbow is in line now, you can find your twist. Unraveling, come back to center. And again, windscreen wiping those knees and hips, getting some movement back in. Good. We're going to come into butterfly pose now. So we're going to take the soles of the feet together and hold onto the toes or onto the ankles or onto the lower legs, whatever is more comfortable for you. I'm going to turn side on so you can see how my back is. So I'm not rounding, I'm lifting up as tall as I can and still encouraging the curve of the spine here. If you find that your legs are up here, you want to put some towels under your legs to help relax those legs so that you can start to come forward, okay? This is where we're going to end up. So don't be afraid to use props because they're really helpful in getting more of a stretch. For now, I'm going to pull my feet closer to my groin, holding onto my feet and pulling my shoulders back, allowing the arch in the back, lifting up the chin. The goal here is to take the chest and the chin forward, not rounding yet, okay? Here, breathing in, push belly out. Breathing out, squeezing, pulling chest forward, keeping that back as straight as you can. There's lots of strength in the upper body in a yin practice. We're trying to get the movement and flexibility into the lower body. Allow the breath to go deep into the belly, to soften right through into the pelvis. Releasing through the hips where we hold so much tension. Good, couple more breaths, let that belly move. Keep the back nice and strong and straight, shoulders back and down, squeezing between the shoulder blades. There's lots going on in the upper back here. It's not an easy stretch. And now you can allow yourself to round forward, rounding through the back, moving your head towards your feet. If your head doesn't reach near to your feet, you can grab a couple of your towels and create a bit of a stack to make it a little bit easier for you to rest and lay over the top. So the whole of the upper back now is relaxed and we're still stretching through the legs. And you'll find over a few minutes you can start to release those towels that you've got. You might even be able to rest your head into your hands. Go very slowly here. Moving through the edges of your stretch. Keep your head pointing forward. Don't follow me, I'm looking at the screen. You keep looking towards the floor. Slowly rounding up. And if you haven't done this many times before, you're going to need to help your legs to come back to center. So go nice and slowly, help those legs to come back, stretching out those legs, giving it a bit of a shake and a massage. I'm going to take you through a final chanting Om to finish the practice, and then I'll put you into Shavasana, final rest position, where you can bliss out as long as you need to. So I'm in a cross-legged position that's comfortable for me. You might choose to form into a lotus or a half lotus, or just simply have your legs crossed. Take your hands to the heart space. Moving the hands, giving thanks for purity of thought. Moving the hands, giving thanks for purity of speech. Moving hands, giving thanks for purity of heart that comes through finding stillness. And we'll finish with the sound of Om before moving into Shavasana. Gently moving into your reclining, resting position, feet nice and wide. Rolling down, head facing directly up, palms facing up towards the ceiling, feet flopped out to the side. Take one deep breath in and a long sighing breath out. And stay here for as long as you need to. Usually 5 to 10 minutes is sufficient.